Doozer shop here. In the shop, got a little Christmas vacation. That's pretty nice. I'm in front of the Rockford planer. Want to show you some machine things, but I got a little project I completed. Well, let me show you what this is about. So, with machines, you always need wrenches. It's just a thing, right? So with the planer here, let me kind of switch hands. The down feed, you can swivel it to cut angles, and then you can swivel this to get so it kicks out of the way at the proper aperture. So here's a Craftsman double box, and that it's a thin pattern, which is nice for clearance because you kind of need it. And it fits there, and it fits there, and then does this fit there? No, that's bigger. This fits something. This might fit. That fits there. So there's a lot. You know, that's a lock, right? So there's a lot of stuff that needs a wrench. No, it's this side. So this wrench works good because there's two different size nuts and whatever. So I had an open end 7/8. I don't know where that went, but there, you know, this is a lock bolt here, and whatever. So here's a square. So this is a Williams wrench, and that fits that. And then, you know, you got crank handles, right? That's square again. You need that there. That's permanent. This crank is pretty cool. It's offset to clear the other one, right? Right, and then you find that one, and it's offset to clear that one. And this one is just what it is with that. And I think this fits that one, and I have two of them, so whatever. And, you know, this I just turned around because, you know, it gets in the way of my feet when I'm walking in the aisleway, and that's the stroke adjustment of whatever. There's your main controls and your low, medium, high. This is your master on and off. That's go. This is don't go. And this is your speed variator. This is your pump stroke for the Vickers pump. And incidentally, that ball, that's the control for the table on a Kearney and Trekker that was scrapped out at work, and I saved the ball handle and silver brazed it into the adapter, and that's your overall displacement speed. So that's, I love handles, right? I love handles, and these are permanent. So a handle with a ball on the end is just so nice. It just is. You know, that's a T-lock. You know, that's not, it hurts your hand, you know, but you know, it is what it is. But something like that is nice. There's another one. It's a cool machine, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. We're going over to the mighty Giddings and Lewis, and I wanted to show you. Oops, I'm backing up into stuff. So the up, down, the elevation, right? The elevation for this, I mean, the elevation's like, that's there, and then you gotta click one of these in, and that's your, whatever. So the lock for the column elevation is this nutley right here, right? This nut is 1.25 inches. So I wanted something cool. So this is what I found. Now, Smith Co. So this was purchased as a spark plug wrench, I think. This was supposed to be an 1.25 inch spark plug wrench, but it didn't have a nice socket like this. It had a tubular smushed hexagon socket, and it wasn't even 1.25 inches. It was a bit smaller, and it was just it was junk. But this is neat. It's got a ball. This is, I think, forged, either cast steel or forged. And it's got a fork on it to straddle the socket. And this is was this a Bonnie or a Wright? I can't even tell. Right. But anyhow, I drilled out this, so it's reduced down to 1/2 inch, right? Because 1.25 inches is pretty big. So this is a reduced socket, and it just happened to be that the fork of the handle fit on the reduced portion of this actual 1.25 inch socket. So I drilled through there 5/16. I used a 5/16 dowel pin and pressed it in there, and this thing is sweet, right? And it lives there, right? To lock the axis, I mean, you got to tug it a little bit harder if you really want to, right? But that's what that is, and that's how it works. And just gravity holds it. So I really don't need this function, but it's kind of nice. It fits the form, the function, the everything. It's just, and right. So that's for that. And then this, the ram, you move the ram in and out with that, right? This is the ram. The ram spindle come out. So that's what that is. So this is the lock for the ram, right? And I mean, trust me, it's locked, and then now it's free. So that's a tool post wrench off a lathe or something. But you know, dig the handle, right? I think that's 1/16 inch. I don't know. And I put a thrust bearing under the nut, but that's just such a sexy wrench, right? I mean, that's the pinnacle. I don't know. I think it just jazzes the machine up. I'm crazy like that, right? So lock, unlock, lock. But it's such a good size, and it fits your hand very ergonomically. All right. That's that. Projects. Okay. Let's get on to over here. I know I talk you guys to death, but whatever. This is supposed to be a spark plug wrench of some kind. I think that's 13/16. I don't know. Whatever. But anyhow, so this is the socket that was on that guy, right? It's supposed to be 1.25 inches, but it's not. It's okay. This came from like an antique dealer, and people measure with a tape measure, and they just don't know, and that's fine. So I'm just going to put it, maybe use it as a pressing mandrel receiver. All right. What's all this? What's going on in the shop? Well, I guess begin at the beginning. It started at the Covel grinder. Check that out. This color of that grinder, it's not white. It's like a pukey skin tone color. It's like flesh color. It's kind of weird. And then so is the darn Pratt & Whitney lathe, right? I mean, that's not white. That's not orange. It's like a almond. That's the color. It's like freaking almond paint color. Look, I mean, I know the glare is terrible, but it's like almond, man. It's freaking almond. This machine is almond. Also, it must have been a color back in the 90s? I don't know. In the 80s? I don't know. Anyhow, let me back up again. I get ahead of myself. So this is a Covel cylindrical grinder. I think it'll swing 5 inches and 10 or 12 between centers. And this, of course, is the mighty Brown & Sharp 13, right? I think this will do 8 by 24, 8-inch workpiece, 24 between centers. And you've seen my videos of restoring the Brown & Sharp 13. But before I had purchased the Brown & Sharp 13, I had purchased this, because I didn't think I would ever find a Brown & Sharp 13. But luckily my friend Jim was able to source it through Kodak. So I bought this Covel, made in Benton Harbor, Michigan. I think Clausing put their name on a few of these, just like Clausing put their name on a few of these, right? The Colchesters. Clausing's okay. We don't mind Clausing. But anyhow, the nice thing about this Covel is it's hydraulic, right? It's reciprocating with a hydraulic cylinder. So it's automatic table traverse back and forth, right? Da-dee-da-da. That's the guy. So the 13 is manual only. This is not usually these are mechanical power feed. This is a hand feed, so it's called a 13H, technically. Okay, not the end of the world. You can see I got my table stops for precision shoulder stopping on a shoulder when I grind. My handy video, you saw that. But it's manual only, there's no transmission in this. This machine you either turn between centers, which you've seen in my videos, or you can screw chucks onto that. It's got some kind of left-hand threaded 1 1/4, 1 3/8, left-hand 8, I don't know what it is. The actual taper of the center is number 7 Brown & Sharp taper, okay? It's actually both the tailstock and the workhead are the same 7 Brown & Sharp taper. So you cannot put collets in this machine unless you have a collet chuck. This machine, which I have the workhead off, is 5C. So this is power feed and it's 5C. The Brown & Sharp, the mighty Brown & Sharp, is between centers or chucker, or it's not. It's hand feed. So there's a reason to keep this around. But anyhow, I said a lot. So I took this apart. I took the table off to clean it. Right? Let's zoom in on the ways. They're gooky. There you go. There's still some scraping there. The oil wells, we'll talk about that in a second, are disgusting. And it's a little scratchy at the ends, okay? Now, I want to try, hold on. Does it have a ridge? Well, maybe. It just barely has nothing. So let's look at the V-ways. I hope that's okay with the light shining. So there's some scrapage remaining still on the back, or the whatever part, the front way I guess, and then so the back is slick, there's no scraping left, but I don't know, let me turn this off, pardon. I think you get better contrast this way. So, can you see? I can't feel. I can measure it with an indicator, but I think that's 2 thou. Maybe it's a thou. Can you feel a thou with your finger? Absolutely. If you do this stuff all the time, yes, you can feel a thou. 100% yes. So you can really see it here. Try to shake. And that's about 2. Because the ends get the grit, right? That's about 2.5 maybe. But they're smooth, right? These are actually pretty good. So there's that, and if you look, there's some scraping, and I mean that's like that's a thou. That's actually really good. Same here. Focus. I can't even feel that. I think that's just dirt. But anyways, so this is a cool grinder. So back to the weight. I'm not worried at all about this. This is actually not worn a lot. This is worn some, but I would never try to re-scrape for what's there. That's fine. I mean, that's just fine. And we'll look at the underside of the table too. So this thing's pretty cool. 12-inch wheel, 10 or 12-inch wheel. And if I spin this with my thumb, if I spin that long enough, I'll get oil pressure in the gauge. Trust me, yeah. Well, anyways, so there's an oil pump in there, and there's, I think like Cincinnati Philmatic bearings, I think there's 4 points of pinch in plain bearings. Most plain bearings have 2 points of pinch, like your car engines. These I think have 4 points of pinch or more. Toyota does that with their grinders. They put, I think, 5 points of pinch on their bearings. But this is actually an oil lubricated spinning pump, oil pump inside, full pressure lubrication grinder spindle. So the thing on top is a precise Rockwell precise die grinder attachment, right? For ID work. This is like a diamond or something. 1/4-inch collet, something. So that's what that is too. And belts and coolant. So this is a really good, this is a decent machine. It really is. Full coolant capability. Like I said, the base is designed for coolant. You know, it's made for it. This may be the only machine in my shop that I do run coolant on. Don't know. So anyways, back to these things. You got these rollers, they're in a well, right? They're spring loaded. Yucky. It's freaking yucky, dude. Well, what that's supposed to do is there should be clean oil in a clean sump, and that rolls oil from the well up onto the ways. Planers used to have this. Not like my Rockford, because it's hydraulic pressure lubricated. But the old line drive planers back in the day used this system. Okay? There's the V one. Like, you know, pretty sure who's got an old planer? Keith Rucker, probably. I think I've seen these in his planer. But this is a good lubrication system. Now, how does this lubrication system work? This is a hydraulic machine. It's got a pump inside the door, and you can open it up later. But this actually had a Bijur pump reservoir, and I took it off because loading with the forklift, the guy pinched the line right at the fitting. So I got to fix that, and I got another piece of copper tubing. So I took it off. So it always worked. So I don't know if that's just for the feed screws or it's actually for the table, or it gets hydraulic oil for the table. I don't know, but I'm going to find out, right? So this moves the grinding wheel in and out, right? And this has got a gear in there, and this is all very tight. I mean, you can, there's like no backlash. Despite it being disgusting and nasty. Now, does this have a drain? This is like a crevasse. It's like a cave. Does this have a drain in there? I don't know. I'm gonna have to open the cabinet and see. I think it would almost have to. Yeah, the coolant has to go down in there. It has to. All right. You got my curiosity here. All right, let's see what the fuck it is. All right. Ooh. All right. Oh, all right. Let's see. Does it drain? Oh crap! I don't know. I can't tell. Shoot. I don't know. But there's the hydraulic pump. There's the reservoir. There's the pump. There's the filter. There's the pressure relief. There's all the valves, and I gotta look in here. I don't know if I can do this with the camera. There's some. So it's kind of neat. It's got a big spring, and it's got that spring is about a 2-inch diameter spring, and it tensions the axis. You guys can't see this, but where's the oil lines? Oh, they're up in there. Whatever, you can't see. All right, bad idea, but you get the idea. I gotta get up now. Oh, anyhow. Oops, sorry. All right, so this cranky dank, that's your manual, and I was wiggling this. Could use a bushing repair. All right, enough about that. We don't care. We're done with that. So there's the main table. Good Lord in heaven, right? What are we doing here? So the parts tank is on wheels, and I got the beam up there, and I got it hung up like a dress in a carcass. All right, so that's just oily. So the actual V-ways look really good. I didn't grab the flashlight, but they look really good. So that's what I'm doing. Let me stand back. I got it hooked in a hole with a clevis, and I'm just parts washing it, right? So that's the table, and comes down, and there's the trunnion pivot. This was all greased up. So this is all white lithium grease. So let me show you. All right. The solvent waterfall. So I'm just cleaning the gunge off, right? This is like the best way to clean, you know, precision things, because it's flushing, it's filtering, it's cleaning. Like a filter housing, and it's going through the water valve, and then it comes up, and so I need to get up there. I can either flip it or I can extend my line lock. And I don't know if I've got any, I gotta look. But that's what I'm doing, I'm just cleaning it all down. And I'm gonna clean this whole thing, okay? Make sure. Yep, I'm gonna clean this whole thing, dude. And this thing is like 50 inches stem to stern. It barely fits up there. I got the chain hoist almost all the way up, okay? I got my choice of 2 hoists. I chose the smaller one just for clearance. So that's how I clean stuff. You know, like this will take hours to clean, but it'll be nice. I started cleaning like this. This is the swivel top. This is where your tailstock and your workhead bolt. You know, this is just all cleaned and stoned and just beautifully done. I took all the regalia off. So that thing's nice. That's ready to go. But I couldn't just put that back on this dirty table. So I had to take it off. And then I don't think the hydraulic cylinder leaks, but it wouldn't be bad to check it out and, you know, really run it through its paces. And I'll put seals in it if I need to. And then, you know, here's like the drive pulley and the drawbar and just whatever. So I took the tray off and threw the tray there, and so that's the 5C workhead. Okay, that's 5C. A J-section belt drives this. There's your hole for your drive dog, and so that is 5C, native bore 5C. This thing was filthy, and this joker was just dang awful filthy. So this took a bath in the parts tank. The bearings seem okay. Seem like they got good preload, whatever. So this is like the little adjuster for the jockey pulley, the jack shaft pulley. So a Bodine motor goes on there. If you guys know about Bodine motors, they're high quality DC motors. It's not direct drive. The belt goes from the motor to the jockey pulley and then back to here, and it's got like 2 speeds or 4 speeds or something. I don't know. And that's the trunnion thing that you can set the angle. It's very small. That was seized like a joker, right? And let me get up. This is what it looks like, right? It's got that angle bolting situation. So this thing was on there and it was rusted. Dude, it was freaking rusted. But I got it off and got it apart carefully. And it pulls on the angle. It's got that angle T-slot. I think the numbered 1, 2, and 3, and 4 Brown Sharp grinders have that angle. I think maybe Norton's do too. My 13 does not. But then it had some weird bolts. I don't know where the bolts are. Anyhow, it doesn't matter. Oh, here, no, those are felts. Whatever. I didn't lose them. They're somewhere. So that's the thing. I'm going to clean this whole thing down. All the grease and gook. And then I got to clean this. I'm assuming I'll keep this machine. I assume I will. So this is all going to get cleaned with probably lacquer thinner and rags. No, there's no spillover. Just lacquer thinner and rags. I'll clean the whole machine down. And I'll probably turn it on. It runs. This thing runs, man. It's freaking crazy. It's got spark out timer delays and all this craziness. I don't think I ever need to take this apart, the in out. I don't think that's... I'm going to check. I want to check how all this is lubricated. So I'm going to get the pump. The parts are in that milk crate underneath the world. Look how dirty this stuff is. This is just freaking disgusting, right? And that's the Bodine drive motor, and this is like the table parts, and it's just dirty. Oh God, it's dirty. And look at that's the motor pulley. I mean, geez, it's just freaking awful. Anyways, I'm gonna clean this up. I'm gonna make sure the lubrication system works. I'm gonna make sure the pump works. I'm gonna clean all the wells out, take all this crud apart, make sure this cylinder reciprocates. I bet you the hoses go down, straight down. So I might end up taking this apart, taking it out, taking it off, taking it apart, and repacking it. I think it's a Parker Hannifin cylinder, I think. Whatever. It's a lot. So that's that. I got the Hendy tailstock base out of the cobwebs, and I cleaned it and stoned it and put it on. Right? So look how they do that. It's two flats on the top and then angled. It's interesting how they do that, right? So it's not a V and a flat. It's kind of like an inverted V. No, it's not inverted. It's a regular V, but it's a wide one, but it's also got flats. So scraping this in would be a huge pain in the butt. And the actual saddle is V-way and V-way. Not V and a flat, V and a V. And the tailstock, so it's inverted V, and the tailstock is one big V. Crazy, right? I mean, that's the Hendy. That's crazy. And the mighty Colchester, like I said, that's the tailstock for the Hendy, and I still need to get, I got some tubing ordered, and I got that turned down to 2 3/8. I'm deciding what pitch thread to put on there. Some of my friends say 12 threads per inch. I'm leaning towards 10 or 8. Probably 10. I don't know. So that's still in the works. Got my lamp on there, my OC white lamp. These are really cool lamps. I made like a little post to mount it. Very secure. You can always tell the OC whites because they got the little dingleberry knobs. And Noah, that's what I want you to print for me, is a knobby knob like that, just for fun, because that's just fun. All right, that's that, right? All right, I think that's about it for the minute. A lot going on in Doozer shop. Big, greasy, dirty grinder. It's got the ID capability. Man, that's cool. All right, and I guess until next time, have fun. This is Doozer shop. Merry Christmas.